Hey there, fellow kaiju fans, and welcome to this episode of Review Flicks. So, in this video, we're going to be discussing Godzilla Minus One Minus Color, which is the black and white version of the movie that's coming to the US for 1 week only. We're going to be diving into all that news in this video. So, if you are new around here, consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the movie and streaming news we have going on this channel. But with that done, we're going to be jumping into this article from comicbookmovie.com. Godzilla Minus One Minus Color, coming to US theaters this month for 1 week only. So, a black and white version of Toho's Godzilla Minus One is stomping into US theaters for 1 week run later this month, and you can check out the new trailer and poster right here, which we're going to be diving into in this video. I can't wait, guys. This movie is absolutely incredible for all of those who have seen it. The praise, the hype, it just never stops for this movie. It's absolutely incredible. And now the fact that Toho have decided to do this special monochrome kind of black and white version of the movie just goes to show how popular and how successful it's been. So, let's continue to read and see what we can find out about what's going on with this black and white version of the movie. So, Toho's latest Godzilla movie, the critically acclaimed Minus One, proved to be a bigger hit in the US than anyone had predicted and recently passed the $50 million mark in North America for a worldwide total just shy of $100 million. It should pass the milestone this weekend. Yeah, the box office has been absolutely incredible. You think about the return on investment for Toho. You know, the director came out and made comments that they spent less than $15 million on this movie, which is insane. And then to make, $100+ million is a great return on investment, as I say, for Toho. Let's hope that we get a follow-up, maybe a direct sequel, just later on after the events of this movie, or perhaps they do another Godzilla movie, but just set it in a different time period, which could be very, very interesting. So, to celebrate the movie's success, Toho will re-release Minus One in black and white for a 1 week run beginning on Friday, January 26th, titled Godzilla Minus One Minus Color. Whoever came up with that in the marketing department needs a raise, because that's such a fantastic, title for the the black and white version of the movie, Minus One Minus Color. It just kind of rolls off the tongue. It sounds great. It's really catchy. And the marketing department, whoever came up with that, did a great job. So this version of the film is meant to invoke the spirit and the mood of Toho's original 1954 classic Gojira. I love the fact that they're making this in black and white. It's incredible. Like it says there, it harkens back to the original from 1954. And seeing the movie in black and white, it does actually add, you would think it would take away from the film, but it doesn't. It adds this kind of almost, old school kind of horror element into it because it's black and white. So you get different kind of a feeling from different images and different colors, and black and white invokes that kind of old school horror feeling, as I say, and I think it looks really, really cool from what we've seen in the trailer, and I can't wait to see it in the black and white version. So we have a quote here from the director. "We are now able to announce Godzilla Minus One, which we have been working on for a long time," director Takashi Yamazaki said in a statement. "Rather than just making it monochrome, it is a cut by cut. I had them make adjustments while making full use of various mats, as if they were creating a new movie. What I was aiming for was a style that looked like it was taken by masters of monochrome photography. We were able to unearth the texture of the skin and the details of the scenery that were hidden in the photograph data. Then a frightening Godzilla, just like the one in the documentary, appeared. By eliminating color, a new sense of reality emerges. Please live and resist further fear. Please live and resist further fear at the theater." Yeah, so like it said in this quote here, bringing out the black and white version, but it's not just black and white. They're adding like this almost like matte kind of texture over the top. It brings out the textures, in the environment and on Godzilla, and it gives it that really kind of chilling old school vibe, and it's going to be something great. But like I say, it's not just black and white. They've actually gone back and kind of retextured the movie, redone the movie, and kind of, created this kind of monstrous black and white version, which is fantastic. You don't often hear of a movie doing so well at the box office that it goes on to have a black and white version. It's not very, it's quite a rare occurrence that you hear of something like that happening. So check out the Monochrome trailer, which we kind of already did at the opening of this video, so I'm not going to play it again for you guys. So from Godzilla Official, we sincerely thank you for #Godzilla Minus One, making cinematic history. To celebrate the end of our theatrical release, we are bringing Godzilla Minus One Minus Color to North American theaters for 1 week only, starting January 26th. The big questions that I have, and I know a lot of you guys out there watching are probably going to have, for those of us who are over in Europe and over in the UK, Are we going to get limited screenings over in Europe? Are we going to get them in other places like Australia, New Zealand, Canada? You know, are we going to get them here in the UK? That's the big question, and we'll have to find out sooner rather than later, because I really, really want to see this at my local theatre in black and white, because it looks incredible. Look at this poster here. It looks absolutely menacing. Look how scary this dude looks. I remember, you know, seeing the trailers and the TV spots for this movie, but then in a black and white kind of horror aesthetic, it looks even creepier, man. But this guy here, this Godzilla, he's all, you know, he's all menace, he's all beast, and you wouldn't want to fuck around with him. But the guy's absolutely crazy. So guys, what we're going to do now, over on Screen Rant, they have a really good little excerpt from an article that talks about more about how they developed this film, the black and white monochrome version. So we're going to hop over that and have a read of that before we finish off the video. It's going to give us a bit more detail as to, you know, how this film was made and kind of what they did to achieve the effect that they have in the movie. So landing over here on Screen Rant, this excerpt gives us a little bit more detail about the black and white version of the movie. So the original 1954 Godzilla is of course in black and white, but that in and of itself made us interested in what a Godzilla film would look like if we created it with modern technology in black and white. But simply removing the colour alone wouldn't invoke the same type of emotion that we were trying to instill in audiences, which is why we went back to the colorist and we actually masked different portions of each shot and adjust the contrast by hand, as opposed to simply hitting the remove colour button. This process makes it look like it was composed by a professional still photographer. For us, removing the colour in some way increases the reality, feeling almost like a documentary and making audiences feel like Godzilla actually exists. This version of the film is way scarier than Godzilla Minus One. With colour, even the team members working on it, we'd get goosebumps because in many ways it does feel like a different film. Yeah, just reading this gets me so excited. But one of the things that I want to say as well that I've kind of been thinking to myself, I guess one of the things I said in the review of this movie was, you know, in certain lighting conditions, the CGI looked a bit dodgy, but you expect that on a $15 million budget. And this black and white version is going to go a long way to kind of masking and hiding the CGI effects and making things look a lot more realistic, because the tones of black and white is going to help to kind of fade that CGI. And I think it's going to make it look monstrous. It's going to look more horrific. I can't wait to see it. And just reading this excerpt here about how they made the color, you know, changing the contrast, and, you know, they didn't just make it black and white, gets me all the more excited. But we're just going to finish off with this small part, and then we'll be finished with the video, guys. So Godzilla Minus One has had an incredible run in theaters since its December 1st, 2023 release. Not only is Godzilla Minus One critically acclaimed, but it's holding a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. But the film's also been successful at the box office. At the time of writing, Godzilla Minus One grossed over $96 million at the worldwide box office, including an impressive $51 million in North America. So, Godzilla Minus One Minus Color will also show viewers the true artistry behind Godzilla Minus One. Unlike some opinions about the Hollywood monsterverse, Godzilla Minus One is not just a spectacle-driven action film focused on action. Rather, Godzilla Minus One is an artistic, viscerally felt film wherein deeply human characters experience real terrors in post-war environment. Based on Yamazaki's description, it seems that Godzilla Minus One Minus Color might be an even better version of an already stellar film. Just when you think that Godzilla Minus One couldn't get any better than what it already is. We're going to make a black and white, more realistic, horrific version than what you've already seen. But the fact that it's only releasing for 1 week, guys, make sure you jump into your theaters quick, book your tickets before it all gets sold out. Because like I say, it's only going to be there for a week. I really hope that they're going to be releasing it in Europe and the UK as well, because I really want to see this myself. But there we go, guys. So there's a bit of information about how they made the movie. They didn't just make it black and white. They also added a special matte. They did the contrasting and all this kind of different stuff to make, you know, make the textures pop and give you a more visceral kind of experience. So guys, hop into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this news. Are you interested in going to watch this black and white version of the movie? I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this. Thank you so much for watching with me, guys. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you soon.